Mic for now. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming again for this day two of Welcome to Lectures Youth Empowerment Workshop. What's happening? I think that's today's network. Okay, I am Victoria Oluwabumi Olabode, the host and founder of this amazing initiative, and I'm thrilled to have you all here again today. So yesterday we explored entrepreneurial excellence, and today we are diving into something even more practical and forward-looking to what's the topic? Please, who can remind us of the topic again today?
Startup thinking, solving problems with tech.
He's even here already. Thank you for that. Yes. So today topic is solving problem with tech, startup thinking. Mm. Yeah, so before proceed, who can remind us w- let's say important thing you learned from yesterday's session and how you think will yeah, okay. And how you think it will should I how do I put the question? Okay, your take and how it will reflect, even if it does not reflect now, how it will reflect in your day-to-day life in the future and when you're planning to
Okay,
start up
thank you very
something.
much.
Yes, please go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you, Victoria. So for me, it was about the understanding the scope of entrepreneurship excellence and how it involves finding a need and creating a solution for the need. And that's the place where you start from, and then how you now measure with your passion as well as the market need identified that you're finding the solution for.
Nice, 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 nice. I love that. Please let's give him a nice reaction. Okay, Miss Vivian, please go ahead. Hope I'm audible. Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, good. I
So
can hear
sorry
you
about
now.
so sorry about that. I quickly rushed out to pack my wares. It's raining. Sorry.
Okay, okay. No problem.
Okay, yesterday for me, what I learned was the characteristics of an entrepreneur. That an entrepreneur ought to be passionate, resilient, and what's the last word now? Creative, innovative. And so, as an entrepreneur, there's high chances that you're going to face challenges. Trying to start up your business, or even the process of the course of running your business. Challenges will come, difficulties might come up, but the fact that you are passionate enough and you have this resilient spirit in you, those problems, those difficulties will not shake you. You will still keep pushing till you get your till you achieve that particular goal or that particular dream of yours. So those are the things I learned yesterday: to be resilient, passionate, and also creative as an entrepreneur. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. Miss Christiana, do you have anything you want to say that you learned from yesterday's session? There's another thing that I took very like I took notes was you can start even without capital. You don't need capital to start. So I don't know if anybody can help me to buttress that part. That even if you don't have capital, then how do you start? What do you need to start? Hello, I'm on this call.
could go ahead. I didn't get that part clearly yesterday. So
Okay, yeah. So you need your intellect, your entrepreneurial mindset, your passion. I think Olufemi mentioned that part as well, but it's not really towards this area. So you need your passion, you need entrepreneurial mindset, then yeah, your intellect, deep thinking. So there are things that you can start without capital. You know, when you have passion for something, you can start with everything you've got without even any fund. Yeah, so I took a lot home yesterday, and I'm really glad to be here again today. So today we are focusing more on how young people can solve real problems using tech, even without coding skills. So there'll be a moment where there'll be like question session, and if you want to also contribute anything. So remember that anyone that attend the two sessions and take attendance, they are the ones that will be getting the certificates. So you have to be able to stay to the end of the session. So be open to take notes and imagine how the tech tools we'll be discussing can help you build solutions for your own community. So especially welcoming our guest speaker, Mrs. Uche, Chika Uche. Welcome, ma. The floor is yours. Mrs. Chika, are you there? Text her. What's up? See, maybe it's our network. Okay. Yeah. So while we are trying to reach her, what are your expectations from today? When you see the topic, startup thinking, solving problems with tech. So can anybody share with me your expectation seeing this topic? Like, okay, today these are things I'm going to be learning today. So what do you expect from today's session? Okay, go ahead, Femi. Thank you. Then yeah, after Femi, Vivian. Yeah,
Yeah, thank
ma'am,
you.
call
So
your
for
name.
me, it will be about how to find that perfect need and then what need and still marry it into maybe what I'm passionate about and um, tailoring a solution along those lines.
I think I lost him for a bit. Am I the only one that lost him?
Hello, did you get that?
Yeah, I didn't catch the whole thing. I think in between the network paused. Please, if you can come again. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I guess she heard that. Can you hear
Sorry.
me?
Yes,
Okay,
I can
okay.
hear you.
Okay, good evening,
Yeah.
everyone. I'm sorry
Good
I came in
evening.
late. I was caught up with some other meetings and appointments I have to meet up with today. I'm sorry for the delay and all the other things because I was held up in traffic, so I couldn't meet up with the time today. So
You're welcome, ma. I was
thank you.
asking them that what's their expectation from today's session, and Olufemi explained his own part. I think you said he got that. The next person that raised up her hand was Vivian.
Okay. So
Vivian, please go ahead.
okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
My expectation from this session, um, I hope to learn possible ways or means of using tech to start up a business. Since we could all agree with me that presently the world is going in line of tech. Almost everything you're doing is just tech based, tech. So I just think I'm expecting that at the end of today's section, I must have gathered necessary tools or ideas that would help me. Like and that tech would help me to start up my business at the end of the day. So that's my expectation from today's section. Thank you.
All right, nice. Thanks so much. Mrs. Chika, you can go ahead now. Welcome,
Okay,
ma.
can you all hear me?
Very well, ma.
Can hear
All
you.
right. Please, if there's any noise interruption, just bear with me because I'm in a quite a bit not an environment that is a bit noisy. So I just had to get a place so that I can speak to us. So from what we talked yesterday, we talked about startup and startup mindset and all other things that comes with startup. So today we'll be talking about startup thinking. Okay, startup thinking. We'll be talking about problem solving, how to identify a problem, because now without identifying a problem there will be no startup, or there will be no entrepreneurship, as we said yesterday. So today we'll talk about, like I said, startup mindset, problem discovery, tech as a tool, not the goal. Then lean product development, validation and feedback, scaling with strategy. So what do we understand by startup mindset? Okay, let me just go ahead and say startup mindset is focused on user feedback and development of your experiment. So as you are trying to create your idea and see whether it is marketable, you are collecting feedback from your customers and knowing where they say this thing is not working for us here, this thing is working for us here. You understand? So when we are talking about startup thinking and we're talking about tech, we're talking about now focusing that your business idea and your passion, and knowing the way that tech can help you to what? Scale fast. Are you people getting me?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma'am. Can hear you.
Okay, so what is all about is that now those your ideas we talked about yesterday, and your idea, your passion and everything. If you are starting up something and you are starting it up, you have to think tech. You have to think what? Tech, because tech is what will help you to be able to scale fast and develop. And in when you are thinking about tech in that startup, you are putting in the tools that will help you. Yeah, you are factoring in the tools that will help you in tech. And you're also experimenting, you are getting you are asking for feedback from your users, and you are what? Using it to develop that your product and make it better. So after we're talking about when you're talking about startup thinking, is different from the traditional business thinking. Okay, so when we are talking of startup thinking, it is focused on how bringing out that your product and getting feedback and then improving on it gradually. Let me say, for example, WhatsApp. We all know that when WhatsApp started, this is the features we have on WhatsApp today is not the features that is on WhatsApp 3-4 years ago. Am I right?
Very true.
Yes, it's not the
Very
same
well, ma.
feature. So this is to tell you that when you are putting tech into your whatever you are doing, there should be continuous improvement. There should be continuous improvement. You are getting feedback from your users. You are improving your product. You are improving whatever you are doing, your service. Even we notice Facebook and other tech we are using. Even if you go into e-commerce, the way e-commerce was 2 years ago is not the way it is now. So they keep asking their users for feedback, and they're using that feedback their users are giving them, and they're improving their app or their product. Are you all getting me? So whenever you start, whenever you that your idea that you have bring together due to, from your passion, you bring it together. You start up. Like I said, you will not wait for everything to be smooth before you start. You start from where you are. Then from that place you are, then you keep asking your user for feedback, and you keep developing whatever you are doing. You are putting in the tools needed for you to grow that particular idea. Okay, some simple tools, although some tools you have to pay for them in this our world now for you to get the premium features, but there are also tools like Canva and other tools, CapCut and other ones that you can leverage their free version and develop your idea and your business or your startup from the beginning without spending much. Okay, so we have also other case studies. If one thing with tech and startup is that if you are in tech and you are starting up, you are not improving, you will be phased out in the market. Like other people will come, carry that your product, improve on it, and with time nobody will ask for your own again. So your own will be relegated to the background. So that's why that continuous user feedback, experimentation, and improvement is very much needed in startup thinking in the tech aspect. And like I said, tech, when you are talking about tech, it's different from the traditional business thinking. Although when I meet people these days, I do tell them, even if you're in traditional business, you can bring your business, you can bring tech into it, except you don't want to open your eyes to see the tech aspect of that your traditional business. So before I go forward, do I have any question?
None from my end.
Okay, do we have any question before I continue?
No, ma'am. Right on.
So like we said, definition of startup, how it differs from small businesses. Okay, so it differs from other small businesses. Then we talk about their characteristics of startup. We talk of innovation, scalability, and risk. I've mentioned all these things. Although I'm not with my slide, I'm just trying to work with what she have and then talk from what I developed previously. So this characteristic of innovation is very important if you are doing a startup. Okay. This innovation scalability is what I talked about when I gave an example with WhatsApp and Facebook, that they keep experimenting, getting feedback from their user. Even if we finish this call now from this Google Meet, they will ask you to rate their call. Have you noticed that? Have we all noticed that when you are using Google Meet?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
they'll always ask people. They'll ask you to rate their call, rate the call, rate whatever it is. So if you are coming into tech and you are starting up, so have all these features in mind. Have all these look at all these people that are in tech, that their products are doing well or their services are doing well. Work in that line that they are working, and whatever you are doing, even if it's a product, you will see that you will not like say you will not fold and go home because of what you keep asking your users for feedback and you keep improving daily. All right, next slide, Victoria. So as I said before, you have a startup mindset. You have to have the creative problem solving, agility and experimentation, user first thinking. I mentioned this thing like in a summary way because I'm just trying to summarize everything so that since we spent much time waiting, so that won't keep us waiting more. So we talk about identifying problem. A successful startup begins with clearly defined real problem. You have to identify the problem first, and the first approach is what is the problem you are solving. Okay, even if you are not picking a new problem to solve, from that existing one, you see what is the problem that existing product is having, and what is the new feature, new idea you are bringing that will improve that existing problem. So identify. Let me give us some techniques for identifying problem. For you to be able to identify problem, you have to be observant. That's observation. Observation. You need to observe those that are your, like now if some of us want to start maybe food business or whatever, observe those that are your competitors, know what they are not doing right. Okay, then you have to, after observation, to be able to identify problem, you have to also know that you have to go you have to conduct interviews and surveys, social listening and personal experience. All these things will help you to be able to identify problem in that particular idea, startup idea you are pursuing. So you will not just come up with your business idea or your passion. You say, I'm passionate about this, I think this is a problem, you just jump into it. No, you have to conduct your interview surveys to know whether you're able to scale when you enter the market. then you have to listen, social listening. Then personal experience, you can also get personal experience from mentors. It's not only your experience, okay? So now, if I can ask, I know all of us here, some of us here yesterday said they had ideas of what they want to business they wanted to start and to implement it. So I wanted to ask, can you can even if let me say it's not supposed to be, you are supposed to do it like a workbook to list frustration in the daily lives of the people, that audience you think your problem, your idea or your business is solving. Can you list 3 frustration in their daily lives and how that your idea will solve that problem for them? Okay, so this is an assignment for each of us that have attended the seminar. As you I cannot tell us to write it down and for us to evaluate it, but you can do it on your own. List the problem of the people that are your audience, that audience that you have, that your startup is addressing their problem. List 3 of their problem and then list 3 frustrations they have in their daily lives. Know how that your startup will be able to solve that problem. So we are supposed to conduct this empathy exercise, but I'm giving it to us as a takeaway for us to do it. So as an entrepreneur, as somebody that wants to start up whatever idea you are starting up, you have to fall in love with problem and not the solution. Fall in love with identifying problems. It's when you identify problem that you now start working on what? Looking for the solution. So tech is not the solution, like I said, it's an enabler of a solution. Like some people say ChatGPT will take over your work, but I used to tell people that it's not true. ChatGPT will not take over your work. ChatGPT will enable you what? To be more effective and efficient in your delivery, in your solutions delivery, to be able to deliver problem, to deliver the problem to the solution of your particular job. The only time that ChatGPT will take away your job is when you don't know what you are doing. But if you know what you are doing, ChatGPT cannot take away. It will just be an enabler for you. It will be what? Like a fast route to get your solution. So, like we talked about, the startup mindset have to be a creative problem solving, agility and experimentation, and user first thinking. That's majorly what you need as a startup. The next slide, please. Okay, Victoria, the next slide. Okay, we've already talked about identifying real world problem, how to identify the problem, and how to map out the solutions. If you have identified a problem, you need to what? Identify it very well, then map out the solutions too. Then as I've said, there should be continuous user experimentation and feedback. Then you can create a community, how to observe your community needs. Create a community for those that are using your product. Create a community for your customers so that you can what? Understand what they need the more and how to what? Improve on your services or improve on your product so that you can give them better what? Better outcome. So encourage local relevance also. Encourage local relevance. When your customers have taken something from you, you don't just discard them. Having a community is very, very important because it will help you with user feedback. So far, I think we've exhausted much of what I have, and I would like us to ask our questions. Ask our questions. Any question we have about startup thinking or tech, we can ask the question so that I can conclude. Okay, Vivian can go ahead.
Now, please, can you throw more light on user first thinking?
Okay, user first thinking. Okay, user first thinking is okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You were saying something.
You said you want to conclude. Is it like you're done with all the slides? Or...
Yeah, I've done majority of what I have. I don't know. I told you next slide. I didn't see the next slide. I don't know.
I showed the next slide.
Okay, I was done with that particular slide.
Oh, yeah. I've been shifting to the next slide. Like, okay,
Okay,
example, not every idea needs
can
code,
you
but
shift to the
tech
next
helps
one?
scale.
Let me finish it up.
Yeah, yeah. This is it. Can you see the next slide?
No, I'm not seeing it yet.
Can any other person see the next slide?
Is it the one that has 3 examples? Not every
Yeah.
idea needs code.
Yes, yes,
I can
yes.
see it.
Okay,
Okay.
I can't. Okay, okay, it's just starting to show for me now. I've not. Okay, yes, I can see it now. Okay, Okay, this was not the last. This was the other one. Okay, okay, we are talking about the 3 example. Not every idea needs code, but tech helps scale. So when I'm talking about not every idea needs code, if you are not in the pure programming, all those DevOps, Python, and all those things, you don't need code. You just need what? You need tech, some of the tech tools, maybe like Canva and other ones that are not tech related, to be able to scale your business. So the tech side might be when you want to build a website that for your business. Then you might be needing maybe the services of those who are into the tech. Okay. Then overview of simple tech tools, web, mobile apps, automation, AI. Like I say that AI cannot take over your job. AI is just there to enhance it. Then automation tools also. Automation tools like Zapier. There are so many automation tools that will help you automate your customers' requests and whatever they come with online. Like now, you cannot just say if you have 100 customers, you want all of them to be chatting you, or 1,000 customers, they will be chatting you on WhatsApp and you reply them one by one. That means you will run into problem. That is when you will now need automation tools to be able to automate your sales, automate automate whatever you are doing. Someone is talking.
Oh, no one. Sorry about that.
Okay, okay. So you need some of these tools. Sometimes you even need to build a mobile app for your startup. Some fintechs like all this OPay, Pampay, they are just they started as fintechs, and you for those kind of one they need a mobile app and the rest. So for that, they need a mobile. So it depends from the area you are going into. That's what will determine. But all the same, you also need the automation tool. You need AI. You need AI. So if you learn this, if you learn how to use this, it will help you in your tech journey. It will really, really help you in your tech journey because you need a web presence. Sometimes you need the mobile app, depend from the kind of startup you are going into. Then you need the automation tools, and also you need AI, because sometimes AI will be the first agent that your customers will speak to before they will now be transferred to your customer service agents. All right, next slide. Okay, we'll talk about how to build a roadmap for your MVP. From problem to MVP, what is minimum viable product? So what do we understand by minimum viable products? So we also talked about examples of MVPs, WhatsApp, Airbnb, etc. And we talked about keeping it simple. Test your idea early. Test your idea early. Not when it have entered the market, you start testing it. You all test it early before it enters the market. Okay. Then understand the customer's desires. That's the first thing of how to build your roadmap for your MVP. Compare your client's pain and gain. Create a path for your client and then compare your client pain and gain. Then distribute priority of your features. Carefully plan your budget and time. Then finally, you also have to what? Iterate and test your roadmap. Okay, iterate and test your roadmap. All right, you're raising your hand. Can you go ahead, Victoria?
Yeah, yes. You asked that what is the minimum viable product, so no one answered. I don't know if anybody knows what that means. So they should understand that it's just a feature that contains the product that the customer wants to see. Let's say product or service that is enough to feature whatever you have for your customers. I don't know if I'm right about that.
Yes, you are right. It's like features your customers want to see on your product or your service. It's majorly for products. Victoria, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am. Should I move to the next slide?
Yes, I'm done with this slide.
Okay. Um, it
Okay,
seems
cool.
you've mentioned this already. So should I move? You already
Yeah,
mentioned the no-code tools, the Canva,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Notion,
business
and all.
practically, yes.
Yeah. So, okay. I trade validation, collect feedback early, learn from users' behavior. Yeah. So willing to pivot. I don't know if you
Okay.
want to break this one down a bit.
Okay, what did you say?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to break this part down for us a bit
Okay,
before I
let
move
me
forward.
break it down. Like I talked about collecting feedback. I talked about collecting feedback earlier. So now we're talking about collecting feedback early. Before you launch your product, you have to have a test group that you are testing it with first before you launch the actual product. Are you getting me? There should be a test group. That's that place you can collect your early feedback from that test users that you are using to test run your app or your product. Then you learn from user behavior. As you have already launched the product, you have to learn from how your audience are using that your product or your app. You have to learn how they are using it. After learning from, like how I said, WhatsApp collects feedback from what we do and then improve. So they observe how we are using the WhatsApp and observe the feature we want from it. And then from our feedback, when they ask us questions, they now what improve their product. Then be willing to pivot as a startup. Be willing to what change grounds. When you see that a particular feature or a particular product is not working for your market, you learn to what change direction and shift focus. It will help you to what to be able to what scale also as a startup. Okay, next slide. Victoria, next slide.
Yeah, I'm there. Maybe the next one.
Okay, discussion activity. What problem would you love to solve in your community using tech, and allow a few students to share? All right, it's time to share. Can we share?
Did anyone get the question? Vivian, Olufemi, Christiana, Rejoice, Equity. So are you there? What problem would you love to solve in your community using tech? If it's not community, even whatever you do using tech. Okay, go ahead, Vivian. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, aside from food, one other
Excuse
thing.
me, Mrs. Chika, can you mute your mic, please?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead, Vivian.
Okay, aside from food, one other thing I'm also passionate about is the environment. Yeah, environmental sustainability. I aside from using tech to aside from using tech to to boost my food production and all. One other thing again, I have so much interest in is environmental sustainability, like building an app where people that want to like maybe dispose their waste bin, their can use that app to like reach out to these waste management companies. Yeah, they could like use their app to like alert them that okay, they have debts to dispose. So when are they coming around to pick their debts instead of disposing debts indiscriminately, like messing up the environment. So that's one other problem I think I would love to use tech to solve. Thank you.
Mrs. Chika, did you get that? Thanks so much, Miss Vivian. Mrs. Chika, if you are talking, unmute your mic. Who else has another thing to say? Olufemi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I actually had a question because she asked a question earlier about
Okay, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
yes,
So
I
I
had
think
a
after this
question.
one now, okay, if you have a question, you can also go ahead. Fine. But Mrs. Chika, are you with us? He has a question. Please go ahead with your question. Oh, she dropped. Okay. Go ahead with your question, please.
Okay, so my question was for her, and it was um when she mentioned some of the things that when you create a community and it helps with user feedback. So the question was, how do you categorize and prioritize user feedback? Because you can have a community where people are asking you the same questions over and over again, and then people are having multiple questions. How then do you use
Someone is
that
asking a question.
to leverage on the feedback to improve the solution, or maybe your mobile app, or what you've created and the solution you're working with, just based on the user feedback? That's my question. How do you use leverage the feedback to improve and to maybe upscale the product to make it more suitable for the users and for the target
Okay.
audience or the target market?
She'll be, yeah. Ude is just joining back. Yeah, so she just informed me now that she'll be joining back immediately. So
Okay, thank you.
okay. So with what you have said, I don't know if any of you wants to answer that question, if you have idea for you and how you do your own stuff. I'm trying to reach her while I don't want to keep you waiting. Okay. Okay, sorry. I would like her to respond to that because I also want to get the good insights. Okay, let me share the form. Let me share the form with you. Yeah, attendance form. This is why I try to reach out. You can type if another person has a question, you can just type your question in the chat.
I asked the question earlier, but she did not address the question.
Oh, no, 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 no. That was when I told her that it was not done yet. So she's coming. So if you think you still have the question that you want to ask apart from that as well, you can type them down. So when she comes, I'll read it out. So I don't know what's happening. So she just had to be here today. So she told me that she's on transit. Yeah, Ude, what happened? You joined earlier and you dropped. What happened? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. So what happened before? So you joined and you left. You now came back again now, at the end of the session.
Yes. My phone misbehaved. Like the whole thing just crashed. Like I was in the call
Okay.
and then the phone was restarting. That kind it was just
So
messed up.
sorry.
But I'm happy
Okay.
now that everything is normal.
All right then. Welcome
So
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just my
And
phone
Mrs. Chika
issue.
is back. The person we are waiting for is back. So Lufemi asked a question. Vivian also asked a question earlier. So I would like them to repeat their question now. So I would have tried my best, but I don't want to give them information that is not really accurate. So welcome, ma'am. Yeah, Lufemi, can you repeat the question? She's here now.
Okay, thank you. So my question was, how do we leverage or how do you leverage user feedback based on the fact that when you create a community, you can't control to a certain extent responses of multiple users or various people in the community, and you have to like take on board whatever points they are trying to pass across based on the review and the feedback. How then do you leverage this feedback for upscaling or for improving your solution or your MVP or the final product? And how then do you use that to answer those multiple users, or where you have similar answers, how do you prioritize the user feedback and leverage on it?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, you are asking how to prioritize user feedback, especially when the questions, when the feedbacks are similar, right?
Yes, that's correct. And
Okay.
also, how do you also leverage on the feedback to make the adjustments, improvements in the solution?
Okay, like when we talked about user feedback now, for you to be able to identify feedback that are similar, that means, and you have to now use what we call experimentation to check. Now you have to check that feedback. Now if like, let me say for example, two people have the same feedback on a particular app that they are using, the feedback is the same. Let me say 100 people and 50 people gave you the same this thing, and the other 50, now you are confused which one to follow. Is that right? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, something like that. Or maybe I
Okay.
paint an example scenario. Like, say, I lived in two separate locations in Lagos State, as in Nigeria. Let's say I lived in Surulere and then I lived on the island. And I'm using Child Deck, for example, to deliver food. I ordered food on Child Deck, but I discovered that over time, if I order from one particular restaurant, the delivery time is faster on the island than when I'm on the mainland. So those kind of the feedback, and I'm not giving that response that I've discovered I'm using your service, but I have problem with your delivery times. You
Hello, I can't hear you.
to so that they don't lose me as a customer.
I didn't hear you at the point. I didn't hear what you were saying at a point. I don't know that it was my network.
Yeah, we
Can you
lost
hear?
him when he got to that part there. He was trying to talk about the delivery part of the island and the mainland. So
I was just trying to give an example when you were asking me, is that the first part of the question you got it, like how do you prioritize user feedback when they are similar or when they are also different, when they are not similar?
Okay, the feedback, once you collect your feedback, you analyze it based on what you are offering. If the if the services that you are offering, they are complaining about a particular, let me say, time of delivery, and the same complaint comes over and over, now it's left for you to experiment and now know why the delay in the service delivery, and now know where to come in and improve in that aspect that the user are giving that particular feedback. I don't know if this answer your questions.
Okay, yes, that answers it. And then how then do you also apply the user feedback or leverage on it to make the
Okay.
adjustments to see the improvements in the
Okay, like
solution?
how you okay, like now let's use the delivery for example. If the delivery time is very slow for when you order food, so now if
Yeah.
they've given you that feedback, for you to improve in that aspect, you have to now, if there's an app they normally use to order food, check whether the lapses is coming from the app or it's coming from those that are delivering the food. So you now have to attack the problem from where is it the food delivery side, the people that are delivering the food that the issue is coming from, or is it people that are cooking the food? You now have to know how to time everything and include automation. Let me say in your app, include for them. Let me say the people that are receiving the order, maybe when they are sending the order, it's automatically showing and then showing them the time they are supposed to, that delivery is supposed to reach. You'll be able to fix that lapse of time. No, trying to link it from those that are producing the food, those that are delivering, and then how it will get to the customer. So you have to look for a way to automate things that will make the middleman and those that are producing that food to be faster, so that it will be getting to your customer. You understand?
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay,
Okay.
Victoria.
Yes. So,
I don't know. I would like. Okay.
Vivian, do you still have a question, please? Okay. If there are no more questions, I already dropped the attendance form, so we will not waste so much of our time. So fill the form. Yeah. So today, the key summary from today's session is status, solve real problems, take health skill impact, start small, test fast. You can start today. Yeah, even without capital. Relating with what we learned yesterday. So today is just a little bit more breakdown from, yeah. So Mrs. Chika, you wanted to say something? I'm sorry about that.
Okay. I want to say, is that all the questions? I don't know. Somebody else had one question, but I didn't get it. I don't know whether she is still
Yeah,
on the call.
she's on the call. So when I called her name now, I don't know if she already get busy or so.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So can anyone help us like to summarize what they learned from today's session before we call it a day, or should we say night? While you are still thinking, remember that it was mentioned that when you identify problems, that's when you can provide solutions to it. You cannot provide solutions to what you did not even see the problem in it. So, there are kind of tech tools that we can use that are no code. It mentions Zapier, Canva, and the rest of them. So all of these things you can use to start your business without even, yeah, when you talk about tech, so you can bring tech into your local business. So don't say, oh, tech is so like the way people picture tech. It's not like that. Whatever you do, tech, you can bring tech into it. Tech can help you to like improve all of these things for you. Some people, and it was mentioned also that people say ChatGPT will take over the business or anything. So no, that's not how it is. It will only help you to enhance your business, enhance your whatever you are doing. So you can control AI. That way I think I do tell people that you can control AI. You don't allow AI to control you. I think when AI can control you is when you don't know what you are doing. So, and if you notice very well that AI most of the times won't give you the correct answer. That's if you know what you are doing. But if you don't know what you are doing, you just give you answer, then you just take it like that. But when you know what you are doing, you tell ChatGPT that no, this isn't what I want. Correct it this format. You control it to give you what you want. So I don't know if any other person wants to say something from what we've learned today. So if you remember very well, techniques to identify problems, it was mentioned observation, conduct interview and surveys, and personal experience from mentors. Not just by your own experience alone, I mean from mentors. So those are the things that we should really look at. So yes. Mm, yeah, I think if you have filled the form, please let me see your reaction. Can everyone see the form in the chat? Hello, am I audible? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, just finished submitting the form.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, for today's session. We're really grateful. Thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for attending today's session. Really glad to have you here. So there will be another webinar. Today is the end of the workshops, and there will be another webinar. It won't be workshop, it will be webinar about CV. So how to set your CV for proper job role. So we'll be inviting an expert for the session, and that will be on the 10th of this month. So prepare. The links will be sent out to people to register. So the expert will come and guide every one of you, every one of us, on how to really set up our CV. So if you are happy about it, I want to see your reaction, please. More reactions. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. Thank you.